What is poverty? If the question comes on poverty only, we are not talking about absolute poverty or relative poverty. How do you define poverty in general? Yes. Number of a situation in which the people cannot afford the basic necessities of life. Basic necessities of life. If we come to, for example, if we are looking at absolute poverty, then there are two definitions. All of you, I hope you are listening, I will ask questions from you. Absolute poverty is defined by two different definitions. One is that the people who are earning less than $2 per day. That is the first definition. In some of the books, it is also mentioned that if it is dollar less than $1, in some books it is referred to $3. So the economists think that whenever the people have to define the absolute poverty, they should say that the number of people who are earning less than a threshold value. Which value? Threshold value. Threshold value is a targeted value. For example, every economy will decide that what is the threshold. Is the threshold for absolute poverty is $2, or if it is $1 or $3, generally acceptable by most of the economies. Anyone earning less than $2 per day is living under poverty, absolute poverty. Second definition is that the number of people who are not able to fulfill their basic needs of life. That is an absolute poverty. The second type is relative poverty. Easiest words to describe relative poverty is, we say that the level of or the comparison of poor people in a given economy. How poor the people of Balochistan are as compared to the people of Sindh. How poor the people of Sindh are as compared to the people of Punjab. So it is in relative comparative terms. Relative and comparative terms. So when you see that the level of poverty is different in different regions, how poor the people of one region as compared to the people of the other region. But remember, relative poverty is true for one specific region. If I am talking about relative poverty, it can be that I can compare the people living in Karachi but in different areas. What is their level of comparison of poverty? For example, I can also do relative poverty on the people of Asia, for example. How one region is suffering from poverty and how it is compared with the other region. My question is that why do we study poverty in economics? Why we are studying that relative poverty and absolute poverty? Who will answer this? Now this is not a CI exam question, but this is the question which will tell you why we actually study economics, particularly economics. People will pass on, so that is not one of the big objectives, is not the yes. Okay. Anyone in English? It's okay. अच्छा, say. Tell. Money.
परमिशन लेनी पड़ेगी भाई पहले.
Mine is saying up to some extent correct. We study poverty in order to know that how you are going to divide the population according to the levels of income. How many people are poor in your country? Recently, one of the prominent economists of Pakistan, Dr. Hafiz Pasha, he said that 40% of the population in Pakistan is living under poverty. Living under poverty. When the government and the planners, they know about the problem of poverty, then they actually make policies. I am not talking about Pakistan. I am talking about in general. Hopefully, one day, the government of Pakistan is also taking this seriously and make certain policies for reducing or removing poverty. Even the US is unable to remove poverty. The people who are living on streets, homeless. That is one form of poverty. But the thing is that you can always reduce the level of poverty. That you can do. India also, 40% of the people living under poverty. Pakistan also 40%. But India is But look at the population of India as compared to Pakistan, 5 times. So the poverty is also 5 times if you count the number of people. Everything, every topic is linked with life in economics. First, the book is going to give you the theories. That is microeconomics. Lekin when the book, if you see the last chapters, I always tell you the last chapters of any book will be the most important. Why? Because they are applying what they have taught you in microeconomics. You are applying that in macroeconomics. That's why all the major topics come in those last chapters, where they assume that the students are good enough to analyze the policies. Okay? So this is the difference between relative and absolute power.